I'm not sure if you have known, but there has been a numerous amount of scientists and people with top secret clearance actually disappearing and being found dead or, you know, killing themselves. So I'm going to go ahead and list off the names of the deceased and the people that have been missing, which reality wise, this is a very sad subject. This is a very serious subject, something that shouldn't be taken lightly because these are lives at the end of the day. These are people that were scared at the end of the day. And it's sad to know that 11 people that have been pretty much connected are gone. Some of these people were moms, some of these people were retirees, lived out their life in the armed forces, things of that nature. And it pains me to say this, but they were killed because of somebody wanting to keep power and keep humankind from advancing. But Amy Eskridge, Michael David Hicks, Frank Maywald, Anthony Chavez, Monica Riza, Melissa Casillas, Steven Garcia, Jason Thomas, Nuno Loriro, Carl Grillmayer, and William McCasland. Most of these people had top secret clearances, and we're just going to start off with Amy. I had to take a little sip. But we're going to talk about Amy, all right? This is really sad. So she was a younger woman. She was researching anti-gravity technology, right? Which, crazy that that's even a thing to think about, or to be like, oh yeah, I'm researching anti-gravity. Like, how do you graduate high school and want to be in something like that? But fun fact, her father was actually in it as well. Like, there's connections that really need to be made, and I'm sure the FBI are actually taking this seriously. At least I hope. But there needs to be a checks and balances situation going on, because we can't have this branch killing everybody because they want to keep information in, and another branch not actually bring it to the public. This is America. Like, we're supposed to work differently compared to the rest of the world, and in a good way, not in a bad way. But she was into anti-gravity tech. My thoughts are she was figuring out anti-gravity propulsion and or teleportation technology. Now, if there's teleportation and if there is anti-gravity technology, the means of gasoline and oil will be non-existent. We will not need those things. And that is one of the big ball players in this. That is the first thing that we're pointing to when it comes to who's to blame, is big oil companies, because they've done it before. They have killed a man that has made an engine run on water back in, I believe, the early 2000s. That is a fact. And it just doesn't make sense to me how it's such a, I wouldn't say a regular occurrence, but like, if there's any advancements that have to do with oil, pretty much you can write your obituary right then and there. That's the sad part. But yeah, she was being told that, you should write your book, you should be a whistleblower, you should let people know of your story and what you have seen and what you know. And then there was also other people that were saying, you're going to die, they're going to kill you for doing that, for blowing the whistle. I don't think she got her full instance. I don't think she wrote a book. I would have to definitely double check that, but from what I had researched before the video, it seems as if she was scared and they ended up catching her. But and that's just the first person on this list. She was looking into anti-gravity. One of the people that was looking into anti-gravity. It's very, very saddening. But the next person I'm going to talk about is Michael Michael David Hicks. He was in the Division of Planetary Science, so when it comes to the Earth's rotation, just things about planets and things about astrology he was covering, and he also had previous experience in nuclear science. So, and that's the main theme here is the people that have been killed or that are missing. They are people that have been around nuclear sites or places that research these things, or they are people that are like in NASA, people that are looking into things of another world, basically. But Michael, he was killed. Or I have actually a list of the people that were deceased and are missing. Michael has been killed. Amy has been killed. Frank Maywald, he was a person that researched jet propulsion. Now, jet propulsion, I will say I wouldn't say it's a basic thing when it comes to this list because there's a janitor on here, but jet propulsion, I feel like it's not too much to hide in that, but at the same time, if you make an advancement to the point where, we're going the speed of light instead of just breaking sound barriers, because a lot of people don't know this. We have, it's crazy, but we have multiple vehicles that can break the sound barrier multiple times over. It's not just, oh, you just broke the sound barrier. You broke it 5 times. That's crazy. Things are getting faster as technology advances, and it's just a means of somebody figuring out an equation, and then boom, we have what we need to go the speed of light. Now, again, that information probably won't be brought to the public because they want to keep power. The whole thing here is control over the masses and power over the information that they give to us, which, again, is not a cool thing. We are humans. You, Mr. Warren Buffett, is no better than somebody that's working at McDonald's. Truly. Because at the end of the day, we all bleed red. And, well, I'm pretty sure the blood inside our body is like purple or something of the sort, purple or blue. And then when oxygen hits our blood, it turns red. But we all bleed the same color. We're all people. If you're a guy, you have a penis. If you're a girl, you have a vagina. Like, we're all people. At the end of the day, we're all of the same species. So just because you make millions doing something that's very unethical, and we have a hard worker that's trying to make ends meet, there's no difference other than moral status, basically. Because the people that are billionaires, they are bad people. There's not a good person that is a billionaire, because there is no way you become a billionaire and don't backstab somebody on that road up. The next person, Anthony Chavez. He worked at the National Laboratory in Los Alamos and used to work with nuclear energy. Now, Los Alamos is a common thing as well. There's about 3 people on this list that used to work there, and they weren't top secret people. Like, they didn't have clearances that were crazy or anything, but they had to have known something for them to be all disappearing. Like for a janitor and for a assistant to disappear, to want to walk off of their property with a backpack, no wallets, no information, just with a backpack, and just keep walking. What kind of stuff is that? That is not a normal situation. There had to have been something that was said to them to where they got scared to the point where they just wanted to go. And if they walked away, here's my theory. Somebody came to them and they said, if you don't come to this location by yourself with this, that, and the third, we'll kill your family. We'll find everybody that you love, everything that you love, and destroy it. That most likely is what happened, because nobody in their right mind is sitting here, oh, I just got off of work, I'm just going to leave the house and wander on the highway. And you're an assistant. You have work in the morning. You're not doing that. So, next person, Monica Riza. She co-developed Mondaloy, a nickel-based superalloy used in rocket engines. Now, that is a huge thing, okay? That is a super important person because that superalloy has made it possible for us to go further and further into space. Space venture is like the biggest thing right now. AI and space venturing, which makes no sense to me because instead of fixing the Earth that we are on, they want to go to another one. Almost like it's that movie Don't Look Up, like an asteroid's coming and all the elites want to just move to another planet type thing. That's what it's kind of looking like. And maybe that was a movie to pretty much get us ready for what is going to happen. All the normal people are just going to die in their house when the asteroid hits. But all the elites get to go to another fucking planet X that they found. That's what it's given. But big ups on Monica for making a super alloy because that is a huge, huge thing, especially as a woman in the field. Big props to her. Melissa Casillas was an administrative assistant and did not have a high-level clearance. This is the one that just walked on the highway. She was last seen walking down a highway with a backpack. She also worked at Los Alamos. Hello? There's a line to be drawn here. Okay? This place had to have something going on to where people were letting others know. And those people, which might have been Melissa, ended up getting caught up because she told other people. And even if she didn't tell other people, there was probably some like NDA that she signed that she went back on or something of the sort for them to have a target on her head because she was an administrative assistant. She was nothing crazy. She was nothing super important. She wasn't inventing things. But next person, Steven Garcia. He was a property custodian at the Kansas City National Security Campus. So a janitor that ended up seeing something and he wasn't supposed to see it. That's the moral, not even the moral of the story because there's no moral to be drawn there, but that is the gist of the story, is that he saw something that he wasn't supposed to see and he might have freaked out and they probably hit him with it's either we kill him or we take him somewhere else, and they killed him. But rest in peace, Steven. He was just trying to clean. He wasn't trying to be in nobody's business. He's trying to do his thing and make his money, go about life. Like a lot of people want to do, is just make their money, go about life. Now, Jason was the vice president and director of CNA's Operational Warfighting Division. So somebody with a high clearance, somebody that really mattered, somebody that had a lot of information that civilians would not be knowing. He ended up becoming a target. He ended up becoming somebody that was on this list just because of the place that he worked at. And it's really sad. It's really like the world is coming to a really crazy place that just because you chose the safe route as you were a younger person, now you have to pay for it in your adulthood because you ended up with top secret clearance. You ended up with information that most people shouldn't know. I feel like if everybody knew the truth, yeah, there might be a mass hysteria at first, but people would calm down. Like the CIA pretty much confirmed that aliens are real and nothing happened. So, hello, come on now. Now the next person, Nuno, he was a professor at MIT's Plasma Science and Engineering Division, okay? He was somebody that was teaching this stuff, so I'm sure he might have, gone home and looked into some things himself and realized and had epiphanies on things which they didn't want him to have, but he ended up becoming missing as well. Now, I hope that the FBI find the people. I mean, I'm pretty sure the FBI ain't gonna really be doing what they supposed to be doing because look at the Epstein files. There's nobody that's been convicted. But when it comes to like small things, or not even small things, but look, there's no convictions off the Epstein files, but Luigi Mangione can take out somebody that really is not good for the general public, and he's stuck in jail for however long. which I think he might be coming back soon. But back to the subject at hand. Carl was an astronomer that was finding water on other planets. Now, why they would want to kill somebody that found water on other planets, I do not know, because I feel like that's a general public thing to know. Like, nobody's going to sit here and freak out about that. But he really was into the stars. He was really into astronomy. Maybe he knew that aliens were real. Maybe he met an alien. Maybe, who knows? Who knows what could have been the actual meaning behind these deaths, other than what their job description was and what they were on the cusp of figuring out. But he was another one. And finally, William, he was a astronautical. So astronautical, I believe, has something to do with like water on other planets. Astronautical engineer that had a top secret clearance. So again, clearance is high. They don't want you to be around if you're about to start whistleblowing. But I want everybody that's watched this video to take the time and look into the whole situation at hand. Definitely be careful about the information that you share to people, because these people obviously shared something to somebody that they might have thought that was a good person to trust or something of the sort, and they were backstabbed, literally. So be careful. This is a time of being careful in America. And maybe, all the people that are working class can find a way to just move out of America so we don't have to deal with these things, because the top 2-3% is really what's ruling this country, and the people that are in the middle that are making $150,000 to $500,000 a year don't really feel the effects of the economy at this moment. But everybody that's making 20 grand or 30 grand a year, they're feeling the brunt. You can't do much. But I'll see you guys on the next one. It was a good talk.